Eurovision, a spectacle of sound and vision, has crowned 72 champions in its nearly 7-decade history. Behind each triumphant song stands brilliant minds, and among the 150 songwriters who tasted victory, a select few have achieved the near impossible, writing not one but 2 winning entries. This video is a tribute to those unparalleled talents, the 7 individuals who ascended to Eurovision's Creative Summit twice. Let's dive in. Our journey begins in the early days of Eurovision, specifically 1959, the 4th contest ever. The first to achieve the extraordinary feat was the Dutch director Willy van Hemert. At 45, van Hemert, known for his directorial prowess, also harbored a passion for songwriting. In 1957, he co-wrote 2 songs for the Netherlands' national Eurovision final competition, where he managed to create De Bromtol, which came second to last out of 8 contestants. But his magnum opus were created the same night as he managed to win the whole festival as well as Eurovision Song Contest. 1957, he co-wrote Net als Toan with Guus Jansen, a magnificent love song beautifully performed by Corrie Brokken, securing the Netherlands' first ever Eurovision win. Jansen handled the composition while van Hemert penned the lyrics. It turns out he liked to write songs in between of his directing jobs, as just 2 years later van Hemert struck gold again, this time collaborating with Dick Schallis. He penned Ein Betje for Teddy Schulten. This not only marked the Netherlands' 2nd victory, but also made them the first country to win twice, solidifying van Hemert's place as a groundbreaking double champion. Now you might wonder who followed up this incredible feat. It would be another 13 years before someone matched van Hemert's achievement in 1971. Yves Dessca stepped onto the Eurovision stage, writing Un banc, un arbre, une rue for Monaco, famously performed by Severin. But Dessca wasn't content with just 1 win. The very next year, in 1972, he returned with Après Toi, sung by Vicky Leandros, securing a victory for Luxembourg. This made Dessca the first songwriter to win in 2 consecutive years, and remarkably for 2 different countries. First Monaco, then Luxembourg. A unique achievement that no one else has managed to replicate even to this day. Next, we honor a true legend, often dubbed the King of Eurovision, Johnny Logan. While his 1980 win with What's Another Year was penned by Shea Healy, Logan's songwriting genius shone through in 1987 when he single-handedly wrote and performed Hold Me Now, securing his first victory as a composer. He was credited under his real name, Sean Sherrard, during both his wins. Just a few years later, in 1992, Logan returned to the contest, this time stepping out of the performer's spotlight. He wrote Why Me for Linda Martin, who narrowly triumphed over musical icon Michael Ball. This not only granted Ireland their 4th victory, but also marked Logan's 2nd win as a credited songwriter. Logan holds another incredible distinction. He is the only person ever to win as both a performer and a composer twice. The 1990s proved to be a golden era for double winners, with 3 out of the 7 achieving their remarkable feats during this decade. Our next celebrated songwriter is the Norwegian legend Rolf Løvland. In 1985, at the Scandinavian in Gothenburg, the pop duo Bobby Sox featuring Hanne Krogh and Elisabeth Andreasen brought home the trophy with their happy-go-lucky tune La det svinge, written solely by Løvland. Fast forward to 1995, Ireland have just made the impossible possible, winning 3 years in a row. In 1992, Linda Martin with Why Me, 1993, In Your Eyes, Neem Kavanagh, and finally in 1994, Rock and Roll Kids with Paul Harrington and Charlie McGettigan. Ireland looked unstoppable, but when times are as dark as they were for the rest of Europe, someone needed to step up and change the course of the game. Out from the ashes rises the savior, composer Rolf Løvland and lyricist Peter Skavlan, together with their band Secret Garden. With their spiritual, folklore-inspired haunting tune Nocturne, they win the competition, marking Rolf's second win and the downfall of Ireland in Eurovision. But, wait a minute, the violin player Fionnuala Sherry is actually born in Naas. Ireland. The Irish seems impossible to get rid of. They always win. Moving just 1 year ahead, we encounter another Irish powerhouse, Brendan Graham, our second to last songwriter to achieve 2 wins. Beyond Eurovision, Graham is renowned for co-writing the immensely popular mega hit You Raise Me Up, with none other than Rolf Løvland. Graham's Eurovision journey began in 1976 with When for Red Hurley, placing 10th. After a decade, he returned in 1985 with Wait Until the Weekend Comes for Mariah Christian, finishing 6th. He continued this pattern of a decennial hiatus break and returned in 1994. It paid off handsomely. Graham solely wrote both the lyrics and music for Rock and Roll Kids, performed by Paul Harrington and Charlie McGettigan. The victory was Ireland's 6th and their 4th in just 5 years, an incredible record for Ireland. Breaking his decade-long tradition, Graham returned just 2 years later, in 1996, to write The Voice for Amar Quinn. This song soared to victory, marking Graham's second win and, more significantly, Ireland's 7th and final pole position finish to this date. After Brendan Graham's dual triumph, it would take nearly 3 decades for someone else to achieve the incredible feat. Our final and most recent multiple winners are the collaborative titans of Swedish songwriting, Peter Boström and Thomas G. Both are legendary figures in Melodifestivalen, Sweden's national selection show. Boström has an impressive 25 credits under his belts between 2003 and 2023, while Gesson holds the astonishing record for the most prolific Melodifestivalen writer of all time, with 79 credits since 1999. Some of Boström's most iconic contributions include Erik Saade's Man Boy, Danny Saucedo's In the Club and Amazing, Ulrik Munter's Tell the World I'm Here, and Anders Bagge's Bigger Than the Universe, apart from his 2 Eurovision winning tunes. Gesson's record is even greater, winning the competition a whopping 4 times. Apart from the 2 Eurovision winners, we have Friends Listen to Your Heartbeat, which finished 5th, and Carola's 3rd win, Invincible, which also finished 5th in the grand final of Eurovision. He's also written Eurovision entries for Norway, Spain, Denmark, Georgia, Cyprus, Malta, France, and most recently Survivor for Prague and Armenia. Now for their first Eurovision win back in 2012, with a record-breaking 18 sets of 12 points given, Euphoria managed to gain the second most points in the competition's history, just 15 points shy of the then leader Fairytale. Boström and Gesson did create one of the biggest hits in the history of Eurovision, and one of a few who would break out of the fandom bubble and spread its wings across the world. a feat which would be replicated with their next entry exactly 11 years later. They reused their former winner Loreen and once again managed to win, making Loreen's historic with 2 wins when she managed to beat out the green Finnish monster. This marks Boström and G:s second win with Tattoo in 2023. And there you have it, the Magnificent Seven, the brilliant minds who dared to dream big and achieve the extraordinary, shaping Eurovision history with their unparalleled talent. Which songwriter history resonated the most with you? Let me know in the comments below. Hope you enjoyed the video and hopefully learned a thing or two. See you next time. Bye bye.